Good morning guys and welcome back. It's finally time to start planting all our fruit trees and we have a lot of them. So we are going to stop working on the well just for a little bit so we can get them all in the ground. The olive trees on our land are in a 10 by 10 metre grid and we have a lot of empty space between each tree. So the plan is to put the fruit trees and the vines in that space just so we can make it look like a food forest, but hopefully just a little bit more organised. However, the ground is very, very hard, but we do have our shovel and our pickaxe and the drill. So let's just see how we get on. Sorry about the shaky camera, please just ignore that, but I just wanted to show you how we are laying these trees out between the olive trees. Stewart dug these holes yesterday evening, but today we're going to be getting them all in the ground.
I'm holding it in 2 secs.
We have started by digging each hole around 15 inches deep and 15 inches wide. And then to fill each hole, we're using a ratio of 50% soil from the ground, 25% compost, and 25% well-aged manure. This is because the soil here has a high clay content, so we're just trying to put as much organic material back in the ground. All in?
Yeah.
That's alright, ain't it?
I think so.
That looks good.
And then they just sit on there, and then one will go down to there, and then that will also water the grapevines.
Take good care while doing it. There we go. Oh, wrong way. Better. He's going to turn the water pump on from the well so we can check how many leaks this is going to have. We've only started by doing the first line, but before we finish, might as well check that it's all okay.
Anything happening yet?
Yeah, it's coming out.
Dexter, come on.
At this point in the video, we were coming to the end of the day, and this is what it's currently looking like. But also remember, we are adding the grapevines between the trees. And then between that, we are having the in-ground raised beds down each side. This is so we can make as much use of the land as possible. The next day, I ended up leaving Stewart to go back to the UK. It was supposed to only be a quick trip back, but I ended up staying there for a few months. In the time that I was gone, Stewart focused on getting all the fruit trees and all the vines into the ground. He then wanted to get some beds made as soon as possible, so he used a tractor to till the soil to create the first set of beds. Stewart has now finished tilling the first few rows where we are going to have the in-ground raised beds, but he now needs to dig out a pathway on each side and make sure there's enough room to walk up and down it, and this is how it's all currently looking. When I got back to Portugal, which leads us up to the last month or so, I was so amazed how much Stewart had got done and everything he'd got into the ground. All the fruit trees were in, all the grapevines were done, we had onion and garlic already in the ground, and all the fruit trees were getting leaves already. I could finally plant my first vegetables in the ground, and I started with some potatoes. Stewart had already got the ground tilled and ready for me to go. This was the first time planting potatoes, but we decided to go with the trench method. However, that seemed to take forever, so I then decided to just start digging each hole and chucking the potato in. The next day, Stewart went out and got me a small drill to use to make the holes.
Better?
Oh my god. So ignore the state of me, but I've literally been doing all these potatoes by hand with a shovel, and it's took me an hour per row to dig, put the potato in, put the mud back in. It's taking me ages. Stuart's just got me this drill, and it's a lifesaver. Oh my god. He's so cute, always looking for ways to make my life easier. Bless him. This is so easy. Oh my god, I have to show you. 1 second. I've done the first hole already, and I want to go 30 centimetres to the next one. Let me show you. I can't believe I've been sitting here for the last 2 days doing it by hand when this is how easy it could have been. Just like that. Oh, also this is my first time ever planting a thing. I've never planted anything in the garden before, so don't judge me, I don't have a clue what I'm doing.
I know people watching probably think it's so stupid, but it was my first time doing it and I was so excited to use it. I've done 4 patches of potatoes with 5 rows in each, so hopefully we have enough seed potatoes for the following year. As you can see, once I got all the potatoes in, I just covered every row with the straw just to keep that moisture in.
Yeah.
Well, that seems easier. Did it?
You had a bit of a run up, didn't you? Yeah, seems to good this side as well.
This is the first greenhouse Stewart got when I was away. The wind tore off the plastic sheet a little while ago, but luckily it wasn't too ripped and we could tape it up. However, we didn't want that to happen again as soon as there was a little bit of wind, so we've decided to dig around it and bury the bottom of the sheet with some gravel. We then decided to get a second greenhouse once I was back because there was a lot of things we were planting, and we done the same thing with the gravel with this one. We used the first greenhouse to do the seedlings and they're sitting there with the heat mats, and then once they've germinated and got some leaves, we'll pot them up and put them in the second greenhouse, which is where they'll then stay until they eventually go in the ground outside. We are going to end this video here, but we'll be back next week with a full update video on everything that's been going on over the last few months. Thank you for watching.